There are a million people doing what I'm doing. I'm not unique. How can I become a consultant? I need to be up and running in 90 days. Is that possible? I've been told I need to be able to sell to become a consultant, but I've never sold a day in my life. How in the world can I become a consultant? Great, valid, and legit questions. Questions I hear frequently from people who are considering consulting or from people who are consultants, but their practice isn't quite where they would like it to be. Hi, I'm Laura Burford. If you would like some additional consulting insights, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell. The bell will notify you when the next video is available. This video discusses 8 frequently asked questions I hear from people. When somebody comes to me and says they want to become a consultant, I recommend they go talk to people. So when people come to me and ask me about consulting, I'm more than willing to talk to them about them and provide some insight. There are 8 questions that I hear over and over again, and I'm going to provide you some insight what I tell people when we sit down and discuss consulting. But I can't discuss everything, and I can talk forever about each of these questions. So if you have any additional questions or comments that you would like to share, please jot them below in the comment section. If it's a question, I promise I will respond. Now let's dive into the questions, and by the way, they're not in any one order. There are a million people doing what I'm doing. I'm not unique. Guess what? Everybody's unique. Everybody's different. No one is the same. To begin with, everybody has different personalities. And what clicks with one person doesn't necessarily click with another person. Let's look at an example. You've put together some specs because you want to create a website. You need a website for your business. So, you research and you find 3 people who can design, create, implement a website for you. You hand each person those specs. You sit down and you talk to each one. Every one of them had a different approach when they spoke with you, and a different point of view as to what you should do. And when you received proposals back, each one was different. They all designed websites. They all offered basically the same service, but every one was different. As you evaluate you and you determine your focus, your ideal client, your service offer, you're going to come up with your point of view and your uniqueness. And you're going to use that uniqueness to build awareness and engage with the right people so that you get hired. I'm confused. Is there one right way to build a consulting practice? I'm bombarded every day with emails from people explaining what I need to do to build a successful consulting practice. Guess what? There's no one right way. The right way is the right way for you. And I totally understand being bombarded with emails from people who mean well or are trying to sell you something about the best way for you to build your consulting practice. When I look at some of the emails, I realize I don't know the people. I don't know how they got my name. And it's quite evident they don't know what I even offer. But what is clear is there is no one right way to build a consulting practice, which means people are going to bombard you. When I am asked this question, though, I discuss what I call the consultancy model. The consultancy model is my model and it's based on my years of experience, and it covers a number of areas that are important for consultants to understand and hone so that they can build a successful consulting practice. There's a video about the model. Go help yourself and listen to it. But I'll be honest, my model isn't the only model that's out there. There are other models out there, and all of them discuss the basics of building a successful consulting practice. All the models take you from point A, not being a successful consultant or just starting out as a consultant, to being a successful consultant. They are guidelines, they are frameworks to help you navigate becoming successful. How you move through the models varies. It depends on you. Think of it as a map. Think of it as a map, and you want to get from the East Coast to the West Coast of the U.S. You have a couple different ways to go. You can go straight across. You could go an upper route. You can go a lower route. All of them will get you there. You can even zigzag as you go across the U.S., covering different states. They will all get you there. It depends on what works for you. And the same thing with all the models that are out there, all the frameworks that are out there to help you move from point A to point B, to help you become a successful consultant. Here's what I will say. Although all the models are different, they all cover the basics, but they all start at the same point. They all start by defining your focus, or if you'd rather call it your niche, that one thing that you want to become known for. How you navigate starts to vary after that point. I've been told I need to sell. I've never sold a day in my life. How can I become a consultant? That's a tough question, but it's an easy question to answer. Every one of us sells ourselves every day as we go through life. Consultants build relationships and they build awareness with other people. Consultants are selling their services and offering help to somebody. They spend time getting to know people and partnering with people. They display credibility and show reliability. They connect. Consulting is not like selling a cup of coffee. You sell a product, coffee, to people. Consulting is about building relationships with clients who are looking for some type of service. Every one of us sells every day of our lives. Becoming a consultant requires a mind shift, a change in how you think about selling, because you're not selling a product. What you're doing is you're connecting with people and helping them with a service. You're offering them something to solve a problem or help them with an opportunity. Change your mindset. You're not selling, you're helping. I need to get up and running quickly within the next 90 days. Is that doable? Yes, it is doable, and it's a fabulous question to ask. And I totally understand why somebody wants to get income coming in the door sooner versus later. When I'm asked the question, here's how I respond. I'm making the assumption you've already decided that consulting is for you, and you've assessed yourself. You know what your strengths are and your knowledge and skills. If you don't, at least take the time to assess your consulting knowledge and skills. And there's a consultant's checklist that you can grab. It's down below, or at least the link is down below. Go grab it and assess yourself. They're yes and no questions to help you determine what you know about consulting and what you don't. And the reason I'm recommending you assess your consulting knowledge and skills is for you to have a long-term successful consulting practice. You need to make sure you plan and you build into a long-term plan what you're going to skip in the next 90 days. With that assessment done, take the time to clarify your focus and your ideal client. Your focus is the foundation for your business. It is that one thing that you want to become known for, and I mean one thing. And then determine who is your ideal client, who you want to work with, and who wants to work with you, who is interested in your focus, and who is willing to pay you for your focus. Your focus and ideal client are core to your business, and just about every decision you make is going to come back to and rely on the decisions you've made about your focus and ideal client. With clarity as to your focus and ideal client, come up with a short message. Short. I help who, with what, to resolve what, result, and benefit. That's it. Short. And then start reaching out and building awareness with your personal connections. Strengthen the relationships you already have with them. And ask them, who do they know that might be interested in what you have to offer? Finally, take the time to understand what should be in a proposal and a contract. That's the start. That's something that you can clearly get done within 90 days and get started engaging with people and get money coming in the door. But keep in mind, that's not all you need to do to build a successful consulting practice. And build in your long-term plan the other things that you need to do. I have no intellectual property. I was told before I can go out and start working as a consultant, I need to get some intellectual property. I need to start writing. I need to start speaking. Guess what? Everybody has intellectual property. We might have to pull it out of you, but you have intellectual property. Some of this ties back to your uniqueness and how are you unique? Do you have degrees and certifications? You might say to me, well, I'm not using those degrees and I'm not using those certifications. But you know what? I bet you are. Can you explain to somebody how you're going to move them from point A to point B? How are you going to help them with their problem or their opportunity? That's going to tie to your intellectual property, how you think. Everybody can have the same expertise, but everybody's experiences are different. Think of it this way. Maybe you're a lawyer, but you don't like law anymore, so you've decided to go help small businesses set their operational structures up. But guess what? You have thoughts because of your legal background as to how they should do certain things within that business. And your thoughts and how you can articulate them is going to be part of your intellectual property, your thought process. Same thing if you're a technical person. Maybe you don't want to work in the tech industry anymore and you want to go help small businesses set up their operational structure. Your unique background with technology is going to have an influence on how you approach and the approach you articulate with them, your point of view, how you're going to move them from point A to point B. So if you're starting out as a consultant or you've been working as a consultant for a short period of time, leverage what you already have. Leverage what's inside you and build upon who you are. Don't worry about going out and writing right away. Maybe you'll never write. Maybe you'll never speak. Leverage who you are and build on who you are with your intellectual property. Here's the thing. As you build your practice, you'll expand your intellectual property. Your website, your online presence is part of your intellectual property. You might have something that you copyright because you do write it. That's going to be part of your intellectual property. You're going to have agreements and contracts, just to name a few. Your intellectual property will expand as you build your business. What type of business structure and insurance do I need? Guess what? This is my pun question. Do I recommend anybody that is a practicing consultant establish themselves as a business and attain the appropriate insurance? Yes, I definitely do. But this is not my area of expertise. I strongly recommend people discuss needs such as business structure with accountants and lawyers, and insurance with insurance brokers. Reach out to people who are experts in the field and get their advice. What works for one consultant is not necessarily the right thing for another consultant. I'm sorry, I punt, and I recommend people talk to people who are the experts in the field. Another frequently asked question I hear is, can I start a consulting practice on the side? Of course you can. Why not? Many people start businesses on the side, and consulting is no different. Take the time to perform an assessment and determine what you know, what you don't know. Determine what you need to learn and spend time learning it. Set up a basic business infrastructure. What do you need from an accounting perspective? And define your focus, that one thing that you want to be known for, as well as who is your ideal client. Get out and start networking. Start building relationships and build awareness. Build awareness of what is your focus, what you have to offer. Take on small engagements. You can do them on the side. And at some point, you will know you're ready to go out on your own. And when you're ready, move on. Finally, the last question, and it's the question I'm asked the most often. Why do I believe people fail to build successful consulting practices? I can talk about how they don't work on their business every day, or they're not persistent, or they're not dedicated, but they're not the real reasons why people fail. And I believe there are two reasons why people fail, not one. The first, they don't hone in on a focus. If you rather call it a niche, that one thing for which they become known. the one thing that somebody's going to push open the door to get in and see you for. I will admit it's scary to focus on one thing, and most of us can do a number of different things. But if we come across as the jack of all trades and the master of none, we're going to fail, or at least we're going to struggle. I know I struggled because I was the jack of all trades and the master of none when I went out on my own, and I have been consulting for a number of years. The second reason is they lack an emotional support structure. No one is an island, and everybody needs other people to be successful. You need friends, you need family. When you have a down day, you need to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody or walk over and say, hey, I need to talk. And when you have up days, you want to be able to celebrate. 2 reasons why I believe people fail to build successful consulting practices. 1, they don't hone in on focus. The second, they're missing that support structure. I just responded to 8 questions I receive on a regular basis from consultants. I could have discussed each one in much more detail, but you know what? There's only so much I can discuss in a short video. So if you have some additional questions or comments, please jot them below. I promise I will respond. Also, check out the videos that are on this channel. All the videos are aimed at helping consultants build their practices, and a new video is released every week. Consider subscribing to the channel as well as clicking on the bell. The bell will notify you when that next video is released. And if you found this video helpful, please help me out by liking it. And now, signing off to next time, I'm wishing you all the best with building your consulting practice. Take care.